Hello and welcome. You're watching GOA365 News Now. I'm your anchor Manish Parab, and as always, I'm here to bring you the stories shaping Goa, India and the world. Let's take a quick look at the top headlines tonight. Trump signs executive order imposing $100,000 fee on H-1B visas, stirring uncertainty for Indian tech workers. BJP and AAP trade accusations of violence and trespassing after protests over assault on Ramakant Konkar sparks political uproar in Goa. US Navy launches third lethal strike on suspected drug smuggling vessel in Caribbean, killing 3 in high seas operation. And we begin with our top story for the day. In a major policy shift, US President Donald Trump has signed an executive order imposing a $100,000 annual fee on each H-1B visa petitions. Will this make it harder for skilled foreign workers to find opportunities in the US? How will this impact Indian professionals who form the largest group of H-1B visa holders? Let's find out.
Immigrant visa program. This is supposed to allow highly skilled laborers who work in fields that Americans don't work in to come into the United States of America. What this proclamation will do is raise the fee that companies pay to sponsor H-1B applicants to $100,000. This will ensure that the people they're bringing in are actually very highly skilled and that they're not replaceable by American workers. So it'll protect American workers, but ensure that companies have a pathway to hire truly extraordinary people and bring them to the United States.
We need workers. We need workers. We need great workers. And this pretty much ensures that that's what's going to happen. I think, Sean, you agree with that?
Well, they're $100,000 per year. So the whole idea is no more will these big tech companies or other big companies train foreign workers. They have to pay the government $100,000, then they have to pay the employee. So it's just not economic. If you're going to train somebody, you're going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land, train Americans, stop bringing in people to take our jobs. That's the policy here, $100,000 a year for H-1B visas, and all of the big companies are on board. We've spoken to them about the gold card.
They love it. They love it. They really love it.
Along with that, the administration introduced a gold card residency option.
We have 2 items for your attention today, sir. A major focus of your administration has been shifting the conversation and shifting the policy dynamics around the issue of immigration, closing the border, preventing illegal immigration, but also, as is the case with the executive order in front of you, opening new pathways for truly extraordinary people to come contribute to America instead of taking away from it. So this executive order is entitled the Gold Card. It will set up a new pathway, a new visa pathway for foreigners of extraordinary ability who are committed to supporting the United States for a payment of $1 million to the U.S. Treasury, or if a corporation is sponsoring them, $2 million by that corporation, and that will give them access to expedited visa treatment as part of this new Gold Card program.
And one of the biggest problems we have is that people, they go to the best schools and they do great and they get great marks, and then they're thrown out of the country. You're not allowed to stay. This way, a corporation will be able, sort of like a signing bonus in baseball or football, a corporation will be able to get them to stay in the country, and I think it's going to be tremendously successful.
Critics argue that such a steep fee will drastically reduce the number of H-1B applications, hurt startups and smaller employers who rely on foreign skilled labor, discourage international talent, and perhaps raise legal constitutional questions, since Congress generally controls immigration law and fees. Microsoft, JP Morgan, Meta and Amazon have urged its employees on H-1B and H-4 visas to return to the US before September 21, 2025, if they are currently abroad. Those inside the US are advised to avoid international travel for now. Indians currently account for approximately 70 to 71% of H-1B visa approvals. Indian tech companies and Indian nationals are among the biggest beneficiaries of the H-1B program. In recent years, Indian firms have reduced somewhat their dependency on H-1B visas by greater local hiring in the US and more offshore delivery. Although big firms are increasingly hiring locally and reducing dependence on H-1B, many still rely on US visas for certain roles. The new fee adds cost, reduces flexibility. It may lead them to restructure operations or change how they allocate employees to US-based work. Investment decisions might change. Many Indian professionals are now left with pressing questions. Will their visas be renewed? Will their employers absorb the steep new cost? And will this policy even survive legal challenges ahead? Lindsay Menezes and Sanika Gaonkar for GOA365.
A demonstration demanding justice for brutally assaulted activist Rama Kankonkar has ignited a fierce political confrontation between BJP and AAP, with accusations of violence, trespassing and cheap publicity flying from both sides as the incident spirals into a major controversy.
The Bharatiya Janata Party launched a scathing attack on protesters through social media, alleging that members from a failed political party attempted to storm their office premises solely for publicity purposes. The ruling party emphasized their numerical strength, claiming a membership of 4 lakh in Goa and 14 crore nationally, while warning opposition groups to think twice and act responsibly in future demonstrations. The Aam Aadmi Party fired back, defending their protest as a legitimate demonstration for public welfare and accusing some police personnel of aggressive behavior toward peaceful protesters. Aam Aadmi Party leaders dismissed BJP's warnings, stating they remain undeterred by threats and suggesting that the ruling party's strong reaction indicates their fear of growing opposition pressure.
ज्या तरेन क्रिमिनल आज मोकाट सुटल्या, ज्या तरेन आज लॉ एंड ऑर्डर जे आम्ही म्हणटा ते कशे तरेन फेल जाला, ताचे विरुद्ध आम्ही प्रोटेस्ट करताले. आम्ही फक्त रामा खातीर उबे नाशिल्ले, पण प्रत्येक गोंयकारा खातीर उबे आशिल्ले जे आज भिल्ले, जे आज भिल्यात आणि तांकां तुम्ही धमकी दिता, तुम्ही आमकां धमकी दिता. 4 लाख फॅमिली आसा, म्हणजे तुमची आनी कोटी दी फॅमिली आसा, येयात आमचे मोर्चा घेवन येयात. धमक्यो दिवपाक पयली धमक्यो दिवच्या पयली विचार करात की 17 लाख गोंयकार आसा, 13-14 लाख गोंयकार आसा, ते तुमकां वोट करना, तांकां तुम्ही नाका. काल तुम्ही फक्त एकाच गोष्टी खातीर भिले की सगळे विरोधक एकवटले. काल तुम्ही एकाच गोष्टी खातीर भिले की गोंयकार एकवटले. बीजेपीचे हँडल्स 1-4 इंटरव्यू घेतल्या कोणाचे आनी सांगता की लोकांक त्रास जाले म्हणून. काल जो प्रोटेस्ट आशिल्लो तो लोकां खातीर आशिल्लो. हय, रस्ते बंद जाले, हय थोडोसो त्रास जालो, पण ते करता आसतना आमी एक गोष्ट लक्षात घेतली की स्कुलाचे भुरगे जे घरा वताले तांकां धाडले, रस्ते ओपन करून धाडले, आणि ती काळजी प्रत्येक प्रोटेस्टरान घेतली. कांय सिंगम पुलीस ऑफिसरान प्रोटेस्टरांचेर अटॅक करपाचो ट्राय केलो, आमचेरूय अटॅक करपाचो ट्राय केलो, म्हजेर अटॅक जालो, आमच्या आमदाराचेरूय अटॅक जालो, लोकांचेरूय लागी पडल्यो. पूण हे कोणा खातीर? हे आशिल्ले गोंयच्या लोकां खातीर, गोंयकारा खातीर. भारतीय जनता पार्टी जेन्ना भिता तेन्ना एक तर पुलिसांक समोर करता, नाल्यार धमक्यो दिता. तुमच्या धमक्यांक आमी भिना. ज्यो काल तुम्ही धमक्यो दिली, जी लोकांक धमकी दिली, ताका आमी भिना. आणि तुम्ही तुमच्या ट्विटर हँडलार कितलोय फॉल्स प्रोपगंडा चलया, तुम्ही भिल्या. भिवपाची गरज आसा. आमी खंय पापड शेकपाक येवना. जेन्ना आमचेर काम रजिस्टर जाता तेन्ना लोक, बीजेपीचेय लोक आपले पापड वाचताले त्या गरमेचेर. पण इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन कशें फेल जाता तातल्यान दिसून येता, आणि फेक कितें आसता पळय ते तातल्यान दिसून येता. पूण हे बीजेपीचे पापड काल मोव पडले, कारण लोकांनी कुरकुरीत जे प्रोटेस्ट आसा तो काल कुरकुरीत आमी दिलो, आणि ताका लागून बीजेपी भिल्या.
BJP State President Damu Naik escalated the matter by formally condemning what he termed as trespassing by political party members into the BJP office in Panjim. He contrasted this with his party's protest conduct, claiming BJP members have never violated the sanctity of opposition offices during their demonstrations.
आप आसा पळय न्ही त्यो सगळ्यो गजाली ट्विस्ट करपाक किंवा तांकां करपाक तांचो हात धरपी कोण ना, आनी म्हणून ते दिल्ली मार खाल्ले तेंच्यांनी. फटिंगपणा आनी नाका जाल्ले ह्यो गजालीच जाता. काल तांकां भारतीय जनता पार्टीच्या ऑफिसान पावले हांगा. तांकां कोणे अधिकार दिला ऑफिसान येवपाक? ओ ट्रेसपास न्ही तर. पहिली सगळ्यांत गजाल व्हडली कशी आशिल्ली, आमी बी भारतीय जनता पार्टीच्या फाटले 30 वर्सां हांवूय राजकारण पळयता. आमी काँग्रेसीच्या ऑफिसा कडेन थंय वतात, आमी थंय आंदोलनां करतात, आमी वेगवेगळ्या हातून मोर्चाचे मार्फत आमी व्हडले व्हडले पुतळे जळयतात, आमी केला. आमी खंयच ना अशें म्हणूना. पण अजून पासून कोणाच्या ऑफिसांनी भितर घुसपाचे केन्ना जावंकूच ना न्ही, ते वयर आयले न्ही हांगा सगळे. म्हणून पयलीं सगळ्यांत पयलीं निशेध हांव ताजो करता, कारण अश्यो गोश्टी केन्नाच जावं जायना. जे आता दुसऱ्याक पळय व्हडले पळय हें सांगता, कितें म्हणटा तें शिस्त न्याय आनी हें सांगता, तांणी पयलीं आपल्या पांया कडेन कितें जळटा तें पयलीं पळोवपाचें. आनी म्हणून कालचो पळय जो आमचो कमेंट जो आसा तो कमेंट इतलोच आसा की आमचे कडेन कार्यकर्ते आसा. सांगपाचो उद्देश असो की लोकांच्या ऑफिसान भितर घुसनाकात. त्या भुरग्यांनी दार बंद केले. हांगा ऑफिसान बायलो आसा, हांगा चलयो आसात, हांगा ऑफिसान भुरगे स्टाफ आसात. सो पयलीं शिस्त आसा ती शिकपाक आमी आमी कोणाचे म्हणजे आयज पासून कोणाच्या घराच्या भायर मोर्चा व्हेलो आनी ताच्या घरान घुसले अशें केन्ना जावना. काही डेकोरम राजकारण आसा, राजकारण जरूर करचें. राजकारणान रस्त्यार येवप, राजकारणान भितर मुख्यमंत्र्याचे बंगलो आसतलो किंवा विधानसभेचे खंय आसतले किंवा खंय तरी आंदोलन करप आसतलें, आझाद मैदान ही जाल्ली आसात. तातूंत व्हडलें कांयच नवीन कांयच ना. पण राडा पळय जो पळय काल तांच्यांनी केलो, थंयच्यान आशिल्ले थंयच्यान उठून ते हांगा आयले. ताचे फाटल्यान कोण आसा? हांगा येवपाच्या फाटल्यान ऑफिसान येवपाचे फाटलो कोण मास्टरमाइंड आसा तोय काडा सोदून.
William Rodriguez, Manish Parab and Amkar Deshprabhu for GOA365.
We'll be back in just a moment with more updates. Don't go anywhere. You are watching News Now on GOA365. Welcome back. In a fiery display of force at sea, the United States has launched its third lethal strike this month against alleged narco-trafficking vessels in the Caribbean, with President Donald Trump confirming the deaths of 3 individuals aboard a boat suspected of smuggling narcotics into the US.
The strike, ordered directly by Trump, targeted what he called a vessel affiliated with a designated terrorist organization operating within the US Southern Command's area of responsibility. According to intelligence cited by the president, the boat was transporting illicit drugs along a well-known trafficking route and posed a significant threat to American lives. The strike occurred in international waters. A dramatic video shared by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shows the boat being hit by a missile and engulfed in flames. No US personnel were injured in the operation. This marks the third such strike in recent weeks, with 2 earlier incidents leaving a total of 14 people dead. The Trump administration claims all targeted vessels were linked to violent drug cartels, particularly the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, which has been designated a foreign terrorist organization under a controversial executive directive issued earlier this year. Trump has framed the attacks as part of his expanded war on drugs and narco-terrorism, which includes the deployment of over 4,000 US military personnel and a significant naval buildup in the Caribbean. "We will not allow our people to be poisoned," Trump declared on his Truth Social platform. "Stop selling fentanyl, narcotics, and illegal drugs in America, and stop committing violence and terrorism against Americans." However, the strikes have drawn sharp condemnation from the Venezuelan government. President Nicolas Maduro and other officials accused Washington of unlawful aggression, branding the operations as extrajudicial killings and likening them to an undeclared war. Venezuela's Interior Ministry also claimed that those killed in a previous strike were civilians, not gang members. Regional tensions have escalated as Venezuela has deployed military assets along its coastline in response, while US warships continue to patrol Caribbean waters. Several Latin American governments have expressed concern that the US campaign may expand to include land-based strikes or attempts at regime change in Caracas. Legal experts and critics have questioned the legitimacy of using lethal military force in such scenarios, especially given that previous US counter-narcotics efforts relied heavily on the Coast Guard and law enforcement interdictions rather than missile strikes. Yet the Trump administration appears undeterred. Hegseth warned recently that this won't be the last strike, suggesting that the US is prepared for continued kinetic action against cartel-linked targets. Manish Parab and Arun Naik for GOA 365. Manish Parab and Arun Naik for Goa 365.
Is this a highway or a truck stop? In Panjorkoni Kunkolim, massive trucks are parked haphazardly along the roadside, throwing traffic into chaos. With an H17 barely 5 meters wide at this stretch, accidents are becoming the norm, not exception. Yes, Ramesh Naik with more.
आज आम्ही आसात ते नॅशनल हायवे 17 आणि पांजरकणी हांगा आसात आणि आमच्या फाटल्यान तुमकां दिश पडटा की जे ट्रक हांगा पार्क करतात हे ट्रक जे पार्क करतात ते कितली मनशाली जीव घेत ते दाखयतात. हे जे पांजरकणी पेट्रोल पंपा कडेन जे ट्रक थांबतात हेणी हेच पयलीं कितलीशे जाणांले जीव घेतले कडेन आसात. हांगा एकटो पेट्रोल घालून भायर सरतना एक्सिडेंट जावन मेलो आसा. दुसरो हांगा पांजरकणीतलो एकटो पेट्रोल घालून ह्या रस्त्यान वयतालो त्या टायमार खंय तरी पार्क केले ट्रक ते कळना आनी ताका अशें करून पळयत आसतना एक गाडी हाडून मारली. तेगेले हात आनी पांय मोडून तो 6 म्हयने जाला अजुनूय घरां आसा. इतले आमी सांगून सुद्दां ऑथॉरिटी जी आसा ही काय करना. लास्ट टायम ट्रान्सपोर्ट मिनिस्टरान सांगलें की रस्त्यार ज्यो गाडी पार्क करतात तांकां आमी तालाव दिताले तेंचेर एक्शन घेता म्हणून. आमी विचारूं सोदतात तुवें स्टेटमेंट केलो खरो तुमी कितली एक्शन घेतली तें दाखयात. फक्त लोकां जीव घेवपाक तुमी आसात. तुमची ऑथॉरिटी करता कितें तांकां हांगा हाडून दवरूंक जायना. तांकां हांगा मॉनिटरींग करपाक लावपाक जायना. आज स्थानीक लोकांनी म्हागले कडेन आसा आनी तेणी अपील केला. RTO केले कडेन आसा, ट्रॅफिक सेला केले कडेन आसा आनी कुंकळचो पुलीस स्टेशनाचो PI आसा हेकाय केले कडेन आसा. आनी त्याच बरोबर जो कुंकळचो आमदार आसा युरी आलेमाव आनी तो ऑपोजिशन लिडर आसा हेकाय तेणी अपील केला की हेचेर मातशें बेगीन तूं लक्ष घाल आनी हेंचेर एक्शन घे म्हणून.
आयज पळय बाब कमीत कमी ना म्हणल्यार एक 5-6 म्हयने जाले हे नवो नाटक चालू हांगा. हे सायडीन आसून पार्क करता त्या सायडीन ते पार्क करता आनी जो मनीस फाटल्यान आमी येता थंय आमकां कंटेनर मुखार दिश्टी पडटा ते फाटल्यान कितें आहा खबर ना. जेन्ना आमी आतां क्रॉस करून दुसरे कडेन मांजो आनी भितर वचपाक वयता पळय त्या टायमार आमकां सडनली ट्रकाचे धोको इतलो व्हडलो जाता की मुखारलो मनीस येता दिश्टी पडना आनी थंय गापाच करून आमकां घालता. आमी गाडी चलोवपाक जाय काय हेंचे धंदे कितें करून बसला हेका कोण विचारतलो. आनी हांगा हेजे कितें चल्ला पळय ते दुकानवाले आनी कोण आहा पळय सोरोवाले तेंच्या खातीर ते सांगताय ते सांगपा जाय बाबा आनी मातशें मुखार पार्क कर म्हणून. आतां हो थांबला पळय मुखारलो कंटेनर चोय तूं आमी खंयच्यान कशी पास जावपा जाय. मुखारलो येतलो मनीस दिश्टी पडना.
पयर फाटीं मेला तो टर्न हेचो थर्ड करून मेलो ऑन द स्पॉट मेलो जाल्यार हांव कितें जाय हेजो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कोण. आम पब्लीक सगळे म्हणटाय की आमी रिक्वेस्ट करताय की आमगे कुंकळेचो बाप युरी आलेमाव LOP प्लीज हेजेर मातशें लक्ष दिवचें. सेकंडली आनीक आमगेलो RTO रिक्वेस्ट करता प्लीज ट्रॅफिक सेला रिक्वेस्ट करता हे आनीक प्लीज आमगेलो कुंकळेचो PI बाब डायगो ग्रेशियस तेकाय रिक्वेस्ट करताय हेजेर मातशें एक बदलपाची. एक कितें ट्रक सडकाचे आनी लोकांक फ्री करचे ना. लोक अशें करून तरी गेले जाय लोक वतालो जितू डॅमेज जाले ते कोण चोयना बाबा जाली आम धामान येताय आम 1 नॉट आपूण हाडाय आनी गाड्यांक घाताय वयताय घेत. सो हेजेर मातशें लक्ष घालचें आनी हे कामार करचें. अशें करून रोड जाल्यार लोक वयता कितें करून येता कितें करून सकाळीं प्रॉब्लेम व्हड जाला सकाळीं.
People pay taxes for smooth roads, not obstacle courses. So, why are we letting our roads turn into parking lots? Is this the price we pay for convenience? Or is it just another case of poor planning? Ramesh Naik, Lindsay Menezes and Omkar Deshprabhu for Goa 365.
We'll be back in just a moment with more updates. Don't go anywhere. You're watching News Now on Goa 365. And now for some sports news. Trinbago Knight Riders unleashed a storm in Guyana, crushing St. Lucia Kings by 56 runs in Qualifier 2 to storm into the CPL 2025 final. TKR's all-round dominance ensured their second final appearance in 3 seasons and a shot at a 5th CPL title. And lastly, for the weather, skies have cleared up, but that means the heat is back. With no alerts until the 26th, Goa is in for hotter days, though the odd shower may still pop up.
Saturday's maximum was back in the 30s, with the real feel touching a sweltering 40. The coming days look much the same hot, humid and muggy. IMD says scattered showers are still possible with a few moderate spells in isolated pockets, but overall sunshine and sticky heat are set to dominate. On Sunday, expect a clear morning with patches of cloud cover. Rain chances are low, just light, brief showers here and there. The afternoon sun will make the day uncomfortably humid, but the evening should offer some relief, with temperatures ranging between 30 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius. Clear skies over Goa, no alerts till September 26th. Hotter days ahead, odd showers possible. Sunday forecast, clear morning, patchy clouds later, low rain chances, brief light spells likely. Humid afternoon, cooler evening. Maximum and minimum temperatures on Sunday, 30 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius respectively. Bureau Report GOA365 with inputs from IMD.
That's all from me, Manish Parab. That's all from me, Manish Parab, and the entire News Now team here at GOA365. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter. For in-depth reports and exclusive coverage, visit our website at www.goa365.tv, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at @GOA365TV. Stay informed, stay safe, and we'll see you again at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow right here on GOA365.